Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're asking a question that almost every man has wrestled with at some point. How do you know if a woman loves you? Love can be beautifully complex, but also incredibly confusing. Words can be sweet, gestures can feel comforting, yet deep down you may still wonder, is this real or is it convenience? Is she here for love or something else entirely, like status, comfort, or what you provide? Too often, men are left trying to interpret mixed signals, guessing at a woman's intentions, or worse, convincing themselves that affection is real when it's not. The truth is, love is something you hear and experience through actions. In this video, we'll walk through 7 powerful, observable signs that a woman truly loves you. These aren't vague theories or textbook advice. They're grounded in the emotional patterns in healthy, committed relationships. If you've ever second-guessed whether she's genuinely in it with you, or if you're looking for clarity before taking the next step in your relationship, you're in the right place. Stay with us through to the end, because understanding these signs could save you from years of uncertainty, or give you the peace of mind that yes, she does love you. Let's dive in. Number 1, she wants to be seen by your friends and family. When a woman truly loves you, she doesn't want to remain on the sidelines of your life. She doesn't want to be a hidden chapter you keep to yourself. Instead, she longs to step into your world fully and openly, to be acknowledged by the people who matter most to you. Because real love is not afraid of the light, it seeks it. And when a woman's feelings are genuine, she will want to be seen standing next to you, not only when you're alone, but when you're surrounded by family, friends, and those who shaped your story. There's a quiet message in every introduction. When you bring someone round your inner circle, you're not just letting them into a room, you're letting them into a part of yourself. An emotionally invested woman will not hesitate to meet your people because she's not afraid of being recognized as vital to you. She wants to witness how you interact with your siblings or your childhood friends, not because she's nosy, but because she wants to understand the whole of you. And even more than that, she wants to be part of it. But when the opposite happens, when she resists meeting the people in your life, or hesitates to be seen in public with you, there's usually a more profound truth hiding beneath the surface. That secrecy is rarely innocent. If she avoids family gatherings, dodges introductions, or insists on staying out of photos, it may be a sign she's not as serious as she seems. Sometimes it's about fear of commitment. Other times it's about protecting another life she's not telling you about. Either way, it's not something to ignore. A woman once shared that she met a man who told her he cared deeply for her but asked that she keep their connection private. No introductions, no mutual friends, no real visibility. It didn't sit right with her, so she walked away. Months later, she found out he was married. That experience taught her what love should never feel like hidden. Because love that's real is never afraid of being seen. It wants to be embraced, not concealed. Love that thrives in hiding slowly loses oxygen. A woman who truly cares about you won't want to be a secret. She'll want to hold your hand before your parent, laugh with your friends, and exchange stories with your co-workers. Not for validation, but because inclusion is a form of love. And love without pride is a shadow of what it could be. One of the most evident signs of a woman's intentions is how she shows up in your life. Those gestures speak volumes. If she asks about your family, wants to attend your cousin's wedding, or is excited to meet your college best friend. They say, "I'm not here for a moment. I want to belong. I want to be seen. I want to see." No one wants to feel like they're being kept in a separate drawer, only opened when convenient. We all want to be part of the story, not just a hidden footnote. And a woman who loves you will want to take her place beside you in that story, not behind a curtain. So pay attention to how she moves around your life. Does she ask about your people? Does she want to meet them? Or does she disappear when it's time to show up? The answers reveal how she feels and what kind of future she's imagining with you. Because love worth building is never afraid of being known, and the woman who sees something real in you will want to be seen too. Number 2. She makes sacrifices for your happiness. When a woman truly cares about you, you begin to see it not just in the way she smiles at your jokes or listens to your thoughts, but in the silent shifts she makes, how she bends, adapts, and sometimes lets go of what's comfortable just to meet you in your world. Her sacrifices may not always be dramatic or grand, but they speak volumes. For her, love is about being heard and making space for your joy, needs, and rhythm. And when she begins to offer that space willingly, not out of obligation but from genuine affection, you're seeing something real. A woman in love knows that compromise is not weakness. It's not about giving up who she is, but recognizing that any lasting relationship is a dance between two people constantly adjusting their steps. If she always insists things go her way, if she refuses to yield even slightly, she's not building a relationship, she's simply making room for her comfort with you standing beside it. But the woman who chooses to soften her edge, who pauses before saying no, who listens with the intent to understand, not to win. That's a woman thinking in terms of we, not just me. This doesn't mean she abandons herself. There are lines she will never cross, and rightly so. Her values, boundaries, and core sense of self are sacred and non-negotiable. Real love honors those things. But within everything else, she will try. She will make the effort. Maybe you love going to live sports games, and she couldn't care less, but still, she shows up beside you. Not because the game excites her, but because you do. Maybe she's not into your favorite genre of music, but she'll sit through a concert nodding along just to share something that lights you up. These are not performances, they're gestures of care. What's powerful is that she does these things without expecting applause. The woman who sacrifices for your happiness doesn't do it for credit. She does it because seeing you happy makes her happy. That's the emotional equation she lives by. And over time, this becomes one of the most evident signs of her love. When your fulfillment becomes part of her own, you'll see it in how she changes plans to be there when you need her, chooses a quiet night with you over a party with friends, and listens to your passions even if they don't align with hers. You won't have to ask her to care, she just will. And if you look closely, you'll see that her small sacrifices are big statements. Statements that say you matter, that we're in this together, that your happiness is worth my effort. Because for a woman in love, sacrifice isn't about losing, it's about building something better than you could have. Number 3, she cares about your loved ones. You can tell a lot about a woman, not by how she treats you when things are going well, but by how she responds to the people who matter most to you, the ones you don't get to choose. The people you grew up with, the ones who've seen you at your worst, the ones who've shaped you long before she came along. When a woman loves you, her heart opens to more than just your smile, body, or how you make her feel. Her attention shifts toward your world, not because she has to, not because she wants to impress you, but because genuine care doesn't stop at the edge of the self, it expands. It asks, who else do you love, and are they okay? If your mother falls ill and she doesn't ask how she's doing, it's not an oversight, it's a message. If your younger brother is struggling and she doesn't seem curious or even ask how it's affecting you, then it's not just emotional distance, it's disconnection. A woman who truly sees you will always see those who help build you. She doesn't need to insert herself into every family conversation or take over your responsibility, but she pays attention, she remembers, she asks, and when you talk about them, she listens like it matters, because to her, it does. That kind of attention is rare, and when it's absent, you feel it like a silence in the room. The woman looks away when you mention your father's stress. It's the woman who smiles politely when you talk about your best friend's divorce, but never asks again. She'll say she loves you, but the love stays shallow, confined to date nights and surface-level check-ins. There's no effort to understand what makes you who you are, no curiosity about the lives that touch yours. Men often mistake beauty, fun, or chemistry for connection. But connection isn't built in private. It reveals itself in how two lives begin to overlap. When she begins to remember your sister's name, asks how your niece's birthday went, brings up things you mentioned in passing. That's love at work. That's what it looks like when someone isn't just falling for you, but stepping into your life. So, watch how she shows up, not just for you, but for the people you drop everything for. You don't need her to love them the way you do, but you should expect her to care. And if she can't or won't, then believe what her silence tells you. Because love that doesn't stretch itself to include your world eventually pulls away from you too. And that's not real love. That's proximity. Number 4, she accepts the rhythm of your life. One of the most subtle yet meaningful signs of a woman's emotional investment is her willingness to step into the pace of your life. Not to lose herself in it, but to learn its rhythm and dance alongside you. It's not about giving up her identity, but showing she values the harmony that can only come from mutual effort. If you're a morning person, up before dawn for your gym sessions, notice how she starts adjusting her mornings. She may not lace up her sneakers and join every time, but she'll be awake when you return, waiting with coffee or a smile. That's not a coincidence. That's consideration. She doesn't need to match you in everything. What matters is how she adapts. Watch what she does when your schedules conflict, your nights end at different hours, and your habits clash quietly with hers. If she begins to shift her routine even slightly so the two of you can share more time, she's not just being nice. She's showing you she wants to be part of your everyday, not just the highlights. This kind of adjustment is quiet, almost invisible, but that's what makes it powerful. Real compatibility doesn't mean living identical lives. It's about meeting each other halfway, often without fanfare. It's waking up a bit earlier so breakfast can be shared. It's staying up a little later to talk, even if she's tired. It's listening to how your day flows and choosing to move with it instead of around it. A woman who accepts the rhythm of your life isn't doing it for approval. She's doing it because love, to her, is not just feeling, it's synchronization. And that synchronization isn't always instant. It's found in small, repeated actions, in learning your patterns. It is essential to notice when you need quiet, crave connection, and when your energy dips and rises. It's empathy, translated into time and movement. You'll feel this kind of woman's presence differently, not because she demands space, but because she creates shared space. She doesn't just appear when it's convenient. she also begins to show up during the in-between moments. She makes space for you in her life and gently finds ways to exist in yours. In a world of people wanting others to change for them, the woman who chooses instead to adjust without asking you to give up who you are is rare, and that rarity is what makes her feel irreplaceable. Love isn't about bending over backward or forcing yourself to fit. It's about learning to move in step with someone without losing balance. When she starts adapting to your rhythm without resentment or expectation of reward, it's not just interest, it's alignment. It's a quiet kind of commitment, one that says, I see how you live and want to be a part of it, not apart from it. Number 5. She's proud of your accomplishments. You can tell a woman truly values you, not just by how she treats you privately, but by speaking about you when you're not around. When she's proud of you, it shows, not in a way that tries to take credit for your growth, but in how she lights up when you achieve something, no matter how big or small. Whether you met her when building your success or were still finding your footing, doesn't matter. She doesn't just tolerate your journey, she becomes part of it. A woman like this quietly invests in your progress, not because she wants to control your path, but because she believes in who you are becoming. You'll hear it when she defends you in front of others, not out of obligation, but out of pride. She steps in with calm conviction when someone questions your choices, because she understands what you're working toward. You'll feel it when she brags to her friends about something you accomplished that you thought no one noticed. The way her eyes glow when she tells them what you did says more than compliments ever could. That's when you realize she's not just impressed by what you do, she's proud of you. She sees beyond the surface, beyond your status or struggles. She sees your potential and isn't afraid to celebrate it out loud. And it's not just about public praise. It's in the quiet moments too, the encouragement before the big meeting, the smile when you share a win, the way she listens with full attention when you speak about your dreams. It's these gestures that build emotional safety. In her pride, you find reassurance, not the pressure to perform, but the motivation to keep showing up for yourself, because you know someone out there sees you clearly and values what she sees. This kind of pride is powerful. It says, I believe in you without needing to be said. When a woman is proud of your accomplishments, it's not just about admiration, it's about alignment. She's choosing to attach herself to someone who is growing. She's not clinging to what you were or wishing for someone else. She's standing beside you through the rise, knowing that even the smallest steps forward are worth honoring. When a woman treats your growth like her own success and makes you feel like you're the best thing that ever happened to her, not through flattery but through deep, consistent support, you begin to understand the difference between being liked and being valued. Her pride in you becomes a mirror, helping you see yourself more clearly, and in that reflection you find the quiet confidence to become even more of the man you're meant to be. Number 6. She fights for the relationship. You know she's truly invested when she stops thinking about me and begins to think about us. A woman who cares doesn't just fall in love with the idea of a relationship, she fights to keep it alive. She doesn't treat the bond as something that should work by default. She tends to it, she checks in, she notices when something feels off and doesn't let silence grow into distance. She makes small sacrifices without losing herself, and most importantly, she intends to protect what you both are building together. It doesn't mean she's giving up her individuality or always saying yes to everything. On the contrary, she's more confident in the relationship because she knows that a real connection is not about one person always winning, but about both finding their rhythm. She doesn't cancel every plan to be with you, but takes you into account. If there's an important decision, you're not an afterthought. You're a part of it. When she adjusts her schedule to include time with you, or chooses an activity because it's something you both enjoy, that's not her being accommodating, it's her being committed. You'll notice it in the way she argues, too. When frustrated, she doesn't shut down or walk away just to win. She wants resolution, not retaliation. She talks things through, not to prove you wrong, but to understand you better. She challenges you when needed, but from a place of care, not criticism. That's how you know she's in it with her heart, not just her words. A woman fighting for the relationship doesn't use silence as a weapon, or emotional distance as a power move. She stays even when things are messy because she believes the bond is worth working through. There is a quiet power in the way she shows up. She doesn't demand perfection or expect you to read her mind. Instead, she communicates, she listens. She's willing to tweak routine habits or even long-held expectations because she knows that love isn't rigid. It grows best when there's space to adjust. Her willingness to adapt is not a weakness, it's her strength. She says, "I'm here for this," and willing to do the work. And when that effort is mutual, when you meet her halfway, something rare happens. The relationship stops feeling like a compromise and starts feeling like a shared creation. You begin to grow in sync. Her presence steadies you, not because she fixes your life, but because she commits to building something with you. That commitment isn't loud, it's in the small choices, the extra message when she knows you're having a rough day, the way she remembers what matters to you, the way she asks, "How can we fix this?" instead of "What's wrong with you?" Real love doesn't always announce itself with fireworks. Sometimes it's pretty consistent and deeply intentional. A woman who fights for the relationship doesn't just stay during the easy times. She remains present when things get complicated. She invests emotionally and practically. She leans in when others might pull away. And she makes you feel like you're not alone in carrying the weight of keeping things together. It's not just affection, that's commitment. That's the kind of woman you don't just hold on to, you grow with. Number 7, she listens attentively. One of the most evident signs that a woman is emotionally invested is not how much she talks, but how deeply she listens. It's easy to find someone who wants to speak their mind, but it's rare to find someone who is fully present when you say yours. When she listens genuinely attentively, it's not about waiting for her turn to reply or proving she understands. It's about being with you in the moment, hearing your words and the weight behind them. You'll notice it in the quiet details, the way she recalls something you said weeks ago, as if it had just happened. How does she remember the name of the co-worker you're having issues with? Or ask about the family member you briefly mentioned in passing? These aren't just polite gestures, they're signals. Signals that she's paying attention, not because she has to, but because she wants to understand you. To her, your thoughts and emotions aren't noise. They're something worth holding on to. Her attentiveness goes further than just memory. If you confide a worry or express doubt, she won't just nod and move on. She might return to it later, ask how you're feeling, check if the situation has improved, or simply sit with you in that discomfort. That kind of emotional support doesn't shout, it whispers, "You matter to me." And in a world that often pushes men to stay silent or keep emotions hidden, that kind of listening becomes a form of love. It's also in how she reflects on what you need and subtly tries to offer it. Maybe she changes her behavior because she picked up on what makes you feel appreciated. Perhaps she starts offering the kind of encouragement you once mentioned that helped you. These aren't acts of manipulation. They're expressions of care. She's not listening just to react. She's listening to grow with you. This kind of listening is rare because it requires vulnerability on both sides. You have to be open enough to share, and she has to be still enough to receive it without judgment or distraction. And when both happen, something deeper forms: emotional intimacy. A connection built not on constant activity, but on presence. Many people talk, fewer truly listen. And when a woman chooses to be present when you speak, when she absorbs your words with care and remembers them with warmth, that's not just attention, affection. She's telling you quietly that your world matters to me because you do. When it comes to love, words may offer comfort, but actions are what reveal the truth. A woman who genuinely loves you will not leave you guessing. Her affection shows in how she integrates into your life, supports your growth, and stands beside you through celebration and struggle. Real love doesn't demand perfection. It requires presence, effort, and emotional investment. From proudly meeting your family to adjusting her rhythm to match yours. From caring about those you love to truly listening when you speak. These are not just gestures. They are reflections of a heart that sees you, values you, and chooses you daily. If you recognize these signs in your relationship, it's not something to second guess, it's something to nurture. And if you're still unsure, take a step back and ask, is she building with you or just passing time beside you? Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you seen these signs in someone you love? What has real love looked like in your life? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to discover more insights on love, relationships, and emotional well-being. See you in the next one.